show! As you know, the theme of the month is animals. And the animal today is, drumroll please, rabbits! Today we have a special guest on our show, Professor M. Hello. Hi! Professor M led us on a dissection of the rabbit yesterday. We're going to get into that later, but first, we're going to go to our reporter, Crystal, who's in Australia. Hi, Crystal. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
So, Crystal, can you tell us about the rabbit problem in Australia?
Yeah, definitely. So, as most of you have already known, the rabbits were introduced to Australia in the 18th centuries by European settlers. And in 1859, a settler by the name of Thomas Austin released about 2 dozen of rabbits from his farm near Geelong. And because of a lack of predators, these rabbits multiplied really quickly, and their number increased to 30,000 by 4 years.
So how is the ever-increasing rabbit population affecting Australia?
Well, at first, the Australian natives use rabbit as a food source, and they export their fur, so they made some money out of it. But because of the detrimental effect the rabbit population has on the ecosystem, the Australian government the damage costs the Australian government about $200 to $600 million per year. And the reason to that is that the rabbit would try or eat vegetations, and that would cause soil erosion. And as wind carries the soil particles into streams and rivers, the aquatic life would also be destroyed, and the aquatic system would be in jeopardy. And also, the rabbits competes with native species for food sources and also just habitat. As in fact, native species such as bilby and bandicoot has already been driven to extinction by the rabbits.
Wow, that sounds bad. Professor M, do you have any comments about the rabbit population explosion in Australia?
Well, a lot of things eat rabbits, like birds of prey, coyotes, and weasels. So, naturally, the population has to increase a lot. So, reproduction for rabbits starts at a very early age, sometimes even less than 6 months. So, they have a litter up to 5 to 6 babies. And they can have these several times a year. Now, with the population in Australia has been gaining, and there's nothing to really kill them off. So we have an explosion of rabbits.
Wow, no predators and a high birth rate? No wonder it's so bad. Back to you, Crystal.
So back in 1879, the Australian government made it mandatory for all farmers to kill any rabbit in sight. So even though the killing was kind of like a massacre, it wasn't really effective in reducing the rabbit population. In 1902, the Australian government designated the Royal Commission to investigate the issue, and the commission quickly suggested some methods of reducing the rabbit population, and some of them are poisoning, trapping, and simply just hunting rabbits and using them as a food source. So the most famous or infamous method of killing the rabbits or preventing the spreading of the rabbit population is the fence. So as you can see, the Australian government spent about $340,000 on the fence, but was proven futile in preventing the spread of the rabbit population. Because for one, the European rabbits can both jump over the fence and dig under the fence. So in a way, it's basically $340,000 going waste. So, but in the 20th century, the Australian government released a disease called myxomatosis into the rabbit population, which quickly reduced the number from 600,000 to 100,000 within the course of 2 years. And that was really effective, and I think the Australian economy recovered a bit. And just I think 20 years ago, the Australian scientists discovered a virus called the rabbit hemorrhagic disease virus, and they released that into the rabbit population again, and that has brought the whole rabbits out of control situation somehow under control, more or less. So I think the Australian government is pretty happy now.
Thank you, Crystal, for that interesting report. So, Professor M, would you like to tell us about the physiology and internal structures of rabbits?
Sure. The fibula and tarsus are bones. The large ears are for hearing predators and for cooling off in warm weather. We found this on the skin of the rabbit. This is a grass beetle. We decided to skin the rabbit. We're skinning the rabbit right now. It took a little while. We had some problems. These are surface muscles. This is the largest muscle of the upper arm. This is the liver. It's divided left and right, lateral, median lobes. We decided to cut into the stomach to see the contents. The stomach contained grasses. This is the stomach content under a microscope. Altogether, the intestines measured 262 centimeters.
The cecum of a herbivore is large because it needs to digest the grasses.
The inferior vena cava and the abdominal aorta are the largest blood vessels.
This heart is in the third stage, the relaxed stage. We know this because all the chambers are filled.
The adrenal lumbar blood vessels are located under the kidneys.
The snowshoe hare's main enemy is the lynx. To escape this, he's brown in the summer and white in the winter. This is an Angora rabbit. Its wool is used to make popular sweaters. This is a hare, the closest relative to the rabbit. Wow, what a dissection that was! Thanks, Professor M.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thanks for coming! Now we're going back to Crystal, who will tell us about rabbits in different cultures.
So yeah, hi Zosha. So as you might already know, rabbits not only appear in culture, traditions, holidays, but also in literature and pop cultures. So the rabbit most beloved by children and probably the most well-dressed one is Mr. Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. I think everyone remembers him. And you can also see our little friend in movies such as E.T., Get to Know Your Rabbit, Bugs Bunny, Briar Rabbit, Harvey the Rabbit, Peter Rabbit, Roger Rabbit. So while most of these rabbits, animated or not, are considered cute and are well respected, the rabbits in some cultures are not so lucky. For example, in African American culture, rabbits' feet are usually cut off to make good luck charms. So the rabbit feet has to be the left hind feet of the rabbit. The rabbit has to be captured and killed with blood gushing out, and it has to be captured and killed during a full moon. So, and also for Easter, the rabbit is celebrated because of its association with rebirth. So I think everyone likes to eat Easter eggs. The rabbit have a place even in Buddhism. It is believed that when Buddha found himself starving, it was a rabbit who decided to sacrifice herself in order to feed him. So it was the rabbit was associated with self-sacrificing. Was a noble animal.
Isn't that interesting? Thanks, Crystal. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Zosha.
So that concludes our show. Join us next time when we will learn about sloths, the laziest animal on Earth.